What up? What up? What up? We back with another video. Give me 1 second. How to close the patio door. I usually do that before I start, but we are here. We are here. You already know who it is. It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Yup. We're here today doing our thing. We feel good. We smell good. And we even look good. Nah, I'm talking about, if you don't know who I am, my name is Michael Murray Jr., and I am the CEO and executive consultant of B. Jackson Co. We are an investment, network marketing, training, legacy company organization. Okay. And today's video, I got a little bit of game for y'all. Okay. If you haven't checked my last video, this is definitely the part 2 to the last one of this one. So you definitely want to check it out. I dropped some game over there letting you know what's going on. Okay. And if you're here in this live chat or even watching the replay, make sure you smash that like button and make sure you hit that subscribe down below, okay? Don't forget to hit the bell notification just in case at any time I am here on live or I upload a new video that you are up to speed and up to date with some new, fresh content. Yes, sir. All right. So, number one thing, part 2, right? If you want to maintain your career in the IT industry, the number one thing is mindset. Okay, we talked about that before, but there's another part of the mindset that you need to know and understand. Okay, when it comes down to it, if you are there just to get a paycheck, okay, you're not going to succeed. You're not. Okay, you have two people in the game, and this is for anywhere in any field, in any career field, in any job, actually, too. This applies to everybody who just has a job. Okay, that anybody who works. If you're there just to get the paycheck versus you were there to build your career, it's a whole nother mindset. It's a whole nother ball game. Okay, because behind it is the strategy mentality. Okay, if you're there to just get the paycheck, you're not really thinking to put in your all. You're only really thinking to put 75%, maybe, if you know what I mean. And in yourself, you deserve to put in more of your time to maximize it and already what you're doing. Time is one of the most valuable things that you can ever have. And just by going with the wind, just going with the flow, it's not going to work out for you. Next thing you know it, 2 years is going to go by, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years is going to go by. And there's going to be that one time where you just blink and then you're going to be like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? So instead of you getting to that point where it's a little bit harder to go back to where you really wanted to go, you're going to start doing that now. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. Number one thing to always remember, it's never too late. Because it's true. It is never too late. Okay. So carrying on, like I said, it is a mindset. So if you're sitting there, wanting to build your career, there's going to be a lot of things that you do in order for you to sustain that career. Okay. Now, the difference between a job and a career, okay, is that a job is an acronym for just over broke. Okay. Inflation is going up every year. And with that being said, when you're working at a job, you're dictated by somebody else and how much you're worth. Okay. Versus by you building your career, you're building skills. These different skills are transferable and not everybody has those skills. Okay. So like I said, if you watch my last video and you're watching the part 2 to it now, then you understand the whole aspect of diversifying your portfolio. Okay. That's going to be the same thing for you going from job to job. It's going to be beneficial that to whatever job that you start, you're going to go ahead and just continue and keep growing. You need to look in between the lines and in the messages that is given to you about the small things that you need to pick up. Okay. When I was working a couple of food jobs that I had before I got into the IT industry, there was a lot of things that I still have carried on with me. Okay. Things like clean as you go. quick on feet, right? Being a team player. All that goes into play no matter where you are in your field or in the industry. Okay. So, like I said, number one thing is mindset. All right. Now, moving on to number two. Okay. When it really boils down to it, and you want to maintain your career in the IT industry, you need to be committed. Be committed. You need to get serious because it's true. That kind of goes hand in hand with number one in the mindset, right? Because if you're not committed, if you're not serious, then you're not going to take it seriously. Okay. The IT industry is something that is very beneficial for anybody to get into. It doesn't matter where you at in your life, because like I said, you got two parts to it. You got your software and you got your hardware side. So once you understand where you best fit in that scenario, right, then you should put yourself in a position to win. That's what we're all about here over here on this channel, okay? Putting yourself in a position to win, no matter what it takes, because you can't be a blessing to others if you're not being a blessing to yourself, okay? So get serious, be committed, and with that, you're going to end up finding your drive, okay? When you have a 9 to 5, a lot of your time is taken up. Let's be real. Let's break down the math here, okay? We all get 24 hours in a day. Okay. Let's just say on average, you work an 8-hour shift. Let's say 9 to 5, right? So that's 8 hours right there. Now, realistically, okay, you are supposed to be receiving 8 hours of sleep a night. Okay. That should be your goal because we need sleep. As humans, we just need sleep. Okay. If you're going on and on and on and on and on and you haven't gotten any sleep yet, it's not going to be very beneficial for you for the next day to be more prosperous than you were before. Okay. What goes in hand with that as well is that at the end of the day, you need to reflect like, okay, what did I do today? What are the things that I missed? What did I learn? What did I do wrong? And how can I be better for tomorrow? Okay. Because like I said, by the end of the day, your time is very valuable. But getting back to breaking down the numbers, 8-hour shift, 8 hours of sleep, that's 16 hours right there. Okay. Let's say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have an hour for each of those. Okay. Well, right there, that's already 19 hours. Let's say you spend at least an hour to get ready for work. Okay. That right there is 20 hours. So technically, you only have 4 hours out of 24 hours in the day to go ahead and get yourself established to do what you got to do. There's a lot of distractions out there. There's a lot of, noise is what I call it, and propaganda. Okay. Propaganda is heavy. So you need to understand what you are doing when you go out into the world. When you hit that doorstep, when you touch that doorknob, you should already know in yourself what you're going to do today, how you're going to do it, and then what are you going to do to overcome. Because life is always knocking at the door, and life can take a turn, and when it hits, okay? So if you only got 4 hours in a day, what you have now as your new acronym is focus, okay? Of course, you're thinking to yourself like, well, yeah, of course I got to focus. That kind of seems obvious, right? But sometimes the simplicity isn't there for a lot of people, okay? But your new acronym is focus. Follow one course until successful. That's your new acronym, focus, okay? So, little story for you. Let's say little Johnny over here, he's trying to drill for some oil, okay? Johnny is out there, he's doing his thing. He's like, yeah, I'm about to get this oil, right? So he's drilling. Seems like it's taking forever, but Johnny really wants to get that oil. Well, he's drilling, and it ain't going nowhere. So you know what Johnny does? He's like, forget this. I'm going to a new spot. He goes to a new spot and he does it again. He's drilling. Okay. Still nothing. He's like, man, what is this? Like, I'm just trying to get some oil. I know this is the spot to get some oil. So he moves over to the next spot. And he's drilling, he's drilling, he's drilling. Okay. Well, next thing you know, little Johnny is over there, drilling over 50 to 100 holes just trying to get some oil because he's like, I'm sitting here and it ain't working. Okay. Well, here comes, little Jeffrey, right? Jeffrey pulls up and looking at Johnny like, what you doing? And Johnny like, hey, I'm trying to get that oil. I was trying to get that oil. And Jeffrey sees all these little holes and stuff. He's like, okay. So he pulls up to the first hole that Johnny had drilled through. And, Johnny is in his own mindset. He's thinking to himself, like, I'm trying to get this oil, but this is like becoming flustered, right? Well, Jeffrey is right there at that first hole that Johnny was at. Jeffrey just drilling. And Jeffrey's still going, drilling. And Jeffrey is still going, drilling. Boom! Oil. Just like that, right? Oil is going everywhere and stuff. And Jeffrey like, yeah, Jeffrey is excited. Okay. The moral of the story is follow one course until successful. Okay. Because you as an individual or as, just someone out there in the world who wants to achieve more, who's hungry, who has that burning desire to just accomplish, you need to stick to one thing. And for me and myself as well, I'm a perfect example. I had to understand that for myself. Okay. Main reason being was because I didn't know that I really had to do something like that in reality. Okay. You see it, but once you understand it, there's a difference between seeing something and understanding it. When you see it, you're like, okay, all right. But when you understand it, you sit there and you think to yourself, you get those gears going in your head. And so with that, it's always best to follow one course until successful. It's very true. It doesn't matter what you do, but if you stick with it, if you get serious and you be committed, then you'll be good. Okay. Now moving on to number 3. All right. Number 3, this is the last one that I have for you guys. All right. And when it comes down to it, to maintain your career in the IT industry, you just have to want it. Okay. Now that applies to anything. Getting serious and being committed, that's one thing. But the want to want it, that is a whole nother ball game. Okay. When you clock in at work and you're there to do the job, yeah, you're there doing the job and you're getting paid. But in order for you to really excel and get further in life and where you want to go, you have to want it for yourself. You can't have somebody else push you forward or tell you to go ahead and do what you got to do. You have to want it, because in the end, everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has their own plate. You may have somebody who can give you that motivation or who can give you that inspiration, or somebody who is a mentor, right? But you are the only one in your own shoes, and you're the only one who can push yourself to that next limit. Okay? You have to want it. You have to want it, right? When I first started in the IT industry, I was very excited because I transferred over and it was nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie. I was really nervous because it was a major shift in my life, and I knew it was going to change my life, but I didn't know what I was walking into. I had a vague idea of what I was going to do, but just all in all, I was like, man, like you know how it is when something is new. And so just getting into it, trusting myself, having faith in the people around me, not complete faith, right? Just the faith in, in knowing that I am in good hands. That if I have the desire to be hungry and to keep going after it, then I will do well. Okay, you have to want it. And another example for at least myself and what I knew when I was out there, and even today, just being out there and work, you cannot have a mindset that is waiting for somebody else. There's no way. You can't sit there and just wait for somebody else because it ain't gonna work. Okay. And what I mean by that too is that you cannot be a robot if you want to evolve. A robot? What do you mean by that? Well, when I say, hey, move your arm and you move your arm, I say, hey, move your other arm, you move your other arm. It shouldn't be like that. It should be that as soon as you get to that field, to that step, to that wherever you are, that you're going after it, that you're trying to learn something new. That if you fail, you accept that failure because you know you're going to succeed after that. A lot of people are afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. If you're already afraid to fail, that's gone. That's behind you now. You have a new movement in your life, and that is to love failures and celebrate them. Okay? If you do not celebrate your failures and you frown upon them, you're not helping yourself. You're prohibiting yourself. This all really goes back to mindset. Okay? Because by the end of it, once again, you're the only one in your own shoes. And you deserve to be happy. You deserve the things that you want. So, in part one, I was telling you guys that I was going to show you my pouch. I didn't bring it in part one, but we're in part two, and here it is. Okay. Well, just some basic things that I have. I got Electricians Strippers right here, right? Pretty good. These ones are Klein tools. Excuse me. I actually use these strippers a lot more than just stripping, wires and stuff like that. I don't do electrical, which is high voltage. I do low voltage, but this is a very good tool to have in general. There's other times where you may need to strip something. And so because I do have it, it for real comes in handy. Okay. Now, just a small little disclaimer, everything that I have in this pouch isn't everything that you need. If anything, it's personal preference. Okay. These are optional. This isn't something I would say, hey, you need to go and get these. Okay. These are 100% optional, but this is my pouch that I use on a day-to-day basis, and I achieve with excellence with this pouch. Okay. So that's this tool. Then I got a flashlight. Okay. A flashlight is good to have. Okay. Sometimes this flashlight, there it is. Sometimes this flashlight plays with me, but it's cool because this one has a magnet end. So therefore, anytime where I'm like up high or something, I can boom and just hit it. And then I got one, it has a side light as well. So I can just place it. It's stuck up there and then I could just do my work. Flashlight always comes in handy. If you're still pulling up your phone to use a flashlight with your phone, it's time to upgrade because the last thing that you want is you damaging your phone just because you was trying to use a flashlight from it. You know what I mean? Just get yourself a real flashlight. Right here. This is considered to be a pick tool. Okay. And the reason being is that on this end, it's broken, but it will usually have like two little hairs like that. And it's to help you pry the little hairs for like if you're working on a phone, like a phone panel. And so you can move different layers because those wires are small. So you want to be able to just get in there and just pull it real quick. And then it has it on this end as well. You can see that little divot. So I use this thing all the time. This is a lifesaver. I am telling you. I saw one of the other buddies use this and I was like, I gotta give me one of those. And he was like, you want this one? I was like, what? Like, you just gonna give it to me like that? And he did, and I had it ever since. Even though this tip is still broken, this thing is multi-use. I use this for a lot than you would ever think of. Last but not least, no, these are not scissors, okay? When we get in the IT industry, these are snips to you. These are not scissors, these are snips, okay? These snips are really cool. I actually had these snips ever since I started in the IT industry. I have been in for 2.5 years, going on 3 years now in March 2022. And so this has literally been my first and only pair of snips I've ever had. They're still sharp. I use this for everything. Like anything I need to cut, boom. I've been utilizing a lot of other tools as well to not use these as much unless I really need them. Okay. One thing for me is that I'm a lefty. Okay. So, but I can use my right hand pretty well still, you know what I mean? And I can, you know, but I have realized because times before I'll use my left and it just wouldn't work because these are not left-handed scissors. They're not left-handed snips. See, even look at me. I have to correct myself. So what I noticed and realized, this is just a small little tip. There's 2 tips I'm gonna give y'all about these snips. Okay, 2 tips. If you have the silver side facing up and your thumb is inside, like so, you will cut anything. I mean, like even paper. Like even paper. I got some electrical tape chilling right here. Boom. Nice and clean. That's it, you know. And I barely just realized that if you try to use them like this, the other way, if your thumb is in the shielded part, it's no dice. It's not going to cut, okay? If it's up, your thumb is in here, you can cut anything. And you're supposed to actually be able to cut a penny with these snips. That's how strong they are, okay? Second tip. You see these little the little rough edges right here? These are actually to help you strip tools or strip wires. Okay, it's a little tool to help you strip wires. So you can literally put your wire in one of these little edges, and then you'll place your thumb on it, and then it will strip it. So let's say you didn't have any pliers, any strippers, actual strippers. You can use these, put it in there, put your thumb on it, and it'll strip it. How do I know? Just being in the game, you know? Before, for a minute, I ain't gonna front, I didn't know about that. I just didn't. But because of those small little things I learned over time, it has definitely put me in a position to win. And for me, it's just been exciting to even just learn more. Just by keeping that open mind and having the desire to go out there and go get it. All in all, in closing, it doesn't matter what you do in your life, it's how you do it, but understand your position and where you want to be at. Because when you have one gear that works with another gear, we have a beautiful thing working. And so a lot of people don't understand or know their position. But if you can clarify and define your path before you get out there, you'll be straight. And as you can see, I'm wearing the limited edition B-Jack's hat. It's pretty clean. You guys are going to be able to, get your hands on this one day, someday, and go out there and go get it. So that's all I have for you guys today. You already know who it is. It's your favorite CEO. Once again, My name is Michael Murray Jr. I am the CEO and executive consultant of BJax & Co. We are an investment, network marketing, and training legacy company organization. We have business consulting, IT consulting. If you have a small business and you're looking to increase online exposure and credibility, definitely check out our website. It's in the description down below. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comment section or go ahead and you can hit me up through my website. I have my email up there and we have the business phone number as well. Don't be afraid to reach out. But once again, it's your boy. I holla.